Basement Bookers Podcast.
What's up? It's your boys, the Basement Bookers Podcast. This is a wrestling podcast where we discuss previously week's wrestling, and this week's wrestling is about the SummerSlam, the biggest party of the summer. This today we're doing winners and losers. So let's get into that. Rich Derez, welcome to the podcast. Congratulations on
Hey,
CM Punk losing to Drew McIntyre. We're going to get into that.
thank you. Thank you. I am, yes, the new champ, courtesy of CM Punk.
That's great. If CM Punk has 10 haters, I'm one of them. If he has no haters, then I have died. So let's just continue on here with the champion. We're here to talk about SummerSlam. And I thought, what better thing to start with on the SummerSlam then, of course, you could hold on to it the whole time if you want to.
I think I might. I'm just going to put it right over here. Keep it within reach for when I need it.
All right. Everybody needs a safety blanket. So let's get on with the show. We started with the women's enter world's championship match. There isn't a women's Intercontinental championship yet. There probably
Yeah.
will be because they don't care. And it's Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan. Now I picked Liv Morgan because I thought she was going to win, and that's why I picked her.
Mhm.
I think you picked her because you didn't want to risk that match because you thought Rhea Ripley would win. Is that not correct?
It's not. I picked Liv because I knew there would be some sort of shenanigans. I had a very strong feeling that, whether intentional or not, Dominic would cost Rhea the match. And we found out it was intentional.
As discussed on the podcast many times, I think to the letter, this was predicted that a chair shot would be prevented. Uh, Same way as always. They they kissed a lot, and that was the end of that. I could do without the like one time you want to pop your shoulder back into place, great, but once is enough. After and you're just taking me out of it because it's like I
Mm,
know that's bullshit. I know that's
mm,
bullshit. There's going to be other things that take us out of it. Judgment Day related, we'll say Terror Twin related when we talk about Gunter versus Damien Priest for the world title. Um, so Rhea Ripley, the first to lose in the Judgment Day. We talked about how this could maybe affect mentally Damien Priest later on
mhm.
in the day, depending on match placement.
Right. And questionable whether or not it did. I think ultimately, uh, that didn't affect his. Ultimately, in the long run, it didn't affect his mental state. It didn't affect the outcome of the match. Other things that we will talk about when we get there.
I don't know about that because he was really pissed off. There was a segment that day of he was looking for Dominic Mysterio, and they told him he was gone.
Mm,
Finn Balor, I think, and he grabbed Finn Balor by the face. There was a whole thing.
right.
So that maybe to your point, maybe it didn't,
Hmm.
but it affected somebody's mental state.
Definitely.
So we'll put a pin in that.
Hmm.
If there's anything else, we'll just go to talk about the Intercontinental title match. Um, by the way, if you were looking for the time, it was 15 minutes, 55 seconds for Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley. And this match had about 10 minutes and 15 seconds less time. I'm talking about Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn. This was the match that I thought we would have for their first outing,
Hmm.
where Braun Breaker would. This was basically a squash. It was 5 minutes, and Sami Zayn told Braun Breaker he needs to take wrestling seriously,
Hmm.
and that's what he did. Feel free to take the reins and try to share your feelings on this.
Yeah. So that is pretty much exactly what happened. Braun Breaker kind of just dominated in the only single digit minute match of the night. This is the shortest match of the night. Um, I thought we said it was time, and you know what? This does two things. It gets Braun on uh a course for a path of destruction. He wants any and all comers, and he wants to just run right through them. And this could free up Sammy to do some bloodline stuff.
Maybe we'll get to that. But Braun Breaker is going to have a match against Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn has asked for his rematch
Hmm.
against Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship. Um, I maybe at Bash at Berlin. I
Could
don't
be.
know. I guess we'll have to see, and maybe I got to pay more attention to what happens on TV.
Yeah, no IC title match announced for that yet.
Well, it's been a week. So
Yes.
there's Sammy, and he was with Jay, and he was looking all miserable. And Jay's like, "What are you gonna do?" He's like, "I don't know." He's like, "No, I did it. You know that. You know me." And
Hmm.
then they did a thing. All right, so
The
stop.
thing,
All
the
right.
handshake.
No, I get what you're doing. It's great.
Sorry.
Okay, so let's gonna head over here to the land of opportunity, the United States Championship match.
Yeah.
Uh, Logan Paul, who can't stop suing people. He's now in a little middle of a thing with a YouTuber called CoffeeZilla. He's suing him over some basically calling Logan out,
Hmm.
and his thing is to sue him. But Spike shoot pile driver off the shoot something off the turnbuckle there from LA Knight, whatever the hell he did to almost kill him. Um, Again, because I'm of the mind that Logan Paul was uh, zeroed out in the End Yourself forest in Japan when he went, and his body was taken over by somebody who was given a second chance
Hmm.
at life. And that is what inhabits the husk of Logan Paul. However, he's only slightly smarter than Logan Paul. So you take that for what it is. I don't know. This was easy. Everybody here thought LA Knight should win, and he won.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, it was an easy call. Logan's been cheating to win every time, back and forth, every time, every time. It was kind of the time to pull the trigger on LA Knight, or like, what are we really doing here?
Speaks to the theme of tonight's show. What with Logan Paul coming to us, and he's from Cleveland by way of
Puerto
Puerto Rico,
Rico.
and that plays into the rest of the show. Now let's get on to the women's champion WWE championship match. Um, the United States championship match was 12 minutes. And now the women's um, Bailey versus Nia Jax. We were all hoping that Bailey would win, but yet again, another Spanish descent champion has lost their championship. Tiffy did come down,
Hmm.
like I said she would, of course, to do nothing and just enough
Yep.
to get things done. This is going to be this whole Chelsea Green Piper thing and Tiffany Stratton. I think this might be leading to the eventual, like, I don't know why they can't do new things, but this is just going to be like when Alexa Bliss took the belt away from Nia Jax. It's going to be what pretended to be her friend and shit, and she's going to take it away from her.
Yeah.
Um, unless they want to flip Tiffy babyface and just have like, I don't know how Nia Jax would destroy her with the briefcase she made her, but it'd be more interesting if like Tiffany destroyed her with the briefcase she was gifted. Um, Now we didn't get the celebration on SmackDown. That was cut
Hmm.
due to time. And you can't blame the ending segment for that because that was like 10 minutes.
Right.
So that has to do with the other end of the show. I don't know if it was the women's tag team match or the singles match with whatever Jade versus Alba Fire, with the shenanigans around that. I don't know, but you can't blame what happened at the end of the night on that.
Well, when Tiffany was planning the celebration, I thought she was saying that it was next week.
Yeah, but it was advertised for
Mm.
tonight.
So it got bumped. Happens. They change their minds.
I know that. I'm just telling everybody on the
Mm.
podcast what happened.
Okay. Card subject to change, everybody.
Yeah.
And it did.
Okay. We're gonna go on and talk next about the this is the match. Seth Rollins, who decided that he would interject himself. Honestly, I picked Drew McIntyre because I don't like tiebreakers, and I knew that nothing was gonna change. So I don't care. I pick when I pick. Drew won. Seth, because this bracelet is back in my day, it used to be cool to say certain things were something and people wouldn't get mad at you. But
Mm-hmm.
I think it's that 3-letter word. It's a super 3-letter word thing to do. It's so stupid. I'm like, stop acting like a dumbass over to some stupid bracelet a fan made you. Do you want to win the match? And then CM Punk, he called me the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm retarded?
And that's what happened. He admitted, he asked the question. The
Mm-hmm.
the rest of the clip is me saying, "Of course you are. Of course you are, because you're fucking stupid. This is your first match back, and this is what you want to do." Now, I don't know if it was for naught. Personally, from what I saw, he's not even done. He's not even done with Drew. So we have to do this shit again.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe bad blood, cage match or something. Maybe. But Seth Rollins, written off TV the worst way possible. I want you to look at my face. I still don't give two shits about Bronson Reed. He's wide. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my God. The fat man landed on the small guy. His blood pill he was trying to get out to look all like dramatic because Seth's banged up. Chronically apparently. So he needs like some time off.
Seth's banged
So
up. So let's have him take 6 tsunamis from
it's
Bronson Reed in a row.
well, here's the thing, and this is what I'm guessing is that Bronson Reed is a big whiny crybaby. All he does is sit on X and complain. Probably, I don't know. I don't follow him about how nothing's happening for him. And
Mm-hmm.
here's Daddy Triple H. All right, Seth needs a break. Here, you do this thing. In 2 weeks, I'm not. No one's gonna care. Right now, it's just me. I can't speak for everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but hey, I don't know. Maybe there's a huge like Bronson Reed like fans, like Bronson fans or something. Have fun. I mean, you're probably also bronies, which are lovers of My Little Pony, which is fine. I'm not gonna hate on you guys. Don't leave. You can stay. But I'm just saying, he's a jabroni. And nothing's gonna change my mind on that. I'm
Mm-hmm.
keeping it real. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry. I'm sorry. I don't think you're interesting. I think you're fucking boring. And it's gonna take more than squashing Seth Rollins cosplaying as 3-letter word uh Hangman Adam Page. Okay? You are 3-letter word as Adam Page. Okay? That's you. Okay? That's what that looked like to me. And I'm glad Bronson Reed effed your shit up. Okay? That's the only nice thing I'll say about Bronson Reed. Who knows? A year from now, I'm going to have to pull this up and be like, wow, Bronson Reed really is a great world champion. Look at all these things he's done.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't live in the future. I'm here right now. Podcaster with a headset. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't even talk shit because the one with the Toys R Us championship is not even the one talking shit. You can't say anything now. You can't say it because somebody here is respectful. That's not me. Not anymore. I'm tired of that shit. All right. Anything you want to say about this interesting match that we had with CM Punk and Bronson Reed? And how do you feel about Seth Rollins being written off TV for being a chronic 3-letter word? What's up with that?
So I liked the use. I know you're like, it's a bracelet, it's this, it's that. It was made by a fan. It
Who wants
has
money? Who wants money? They did like a repost of it or X. It's like, hey, how about some compensation for the fan who made it? Shut the
well,
fuck up.
was it the fan that said that, or was it another someone else that said it?
No, it was them.
Well, maybe that's
Or
kind
somebody
of
posing as them, but it was them.
well,
I'm
maybe
pretty
that.
sure.
So that if that's the case, then that is kind of like Randy Orton's tattoo artist being like, "No, I didn't say you could use my art in your game,"
It's
and I'm like, "Fucking come on."
yeah.
Anyway,
Why can't you
um,
just take the thing and be like, see this in the game? I did this. Do you want this?
yeah,
It's not like they made you sign something like, hey, you can't say you did this.
right. It's advertising.
You can't say you did this.
Yeah. So so there's that, but like the I liked the use of the bracelet as a viable prop. All right. So Drew dropped it during the match. We've seen if something falls off of a wrestler during a match, the referee picks it up and typically like puts it in their pocket because they don't want they can't have the wrestlers slipping on it, tripping on it, whatever, causing
Does
an
Seth
injury.
Rollins not have any pockets? Is my question.
I am contending that Seth Rollins' pants, as I've also contended in the past, I think maybe he is shopping in Becky's closet. So I would suggest that no, his pants did not have pockets. So his only recourse was to wear the bracelet. That provided enough distraction for CM Punk to say, "No, I'm not going to win this match right now. What the fuck are you doing with my bracelet?"
Seth Rollins is the worst referee since Aubrey Edwards. And that's a promise.
Hmm.
That's a promise. That's a promise. Seth Rollins, I hope you're resting comfortably and as miserably as possible.
Mm,
Honestly, you and CM Punk. Okay, Drew McIntyre, it's not his fault. He was Irish cursed for a little while, and then
hmm.
Sheamus decided to lift it without fucking telling me. All right, so let's go on
What
to.
about Bronson Reed?
Oh, what
Right,
about Bronson
because
Reed?
there is because there was the follow up. Punk is still in pursuit of this bracelet. That is like he's fixated. Then we had the attack by Bronson Reed. I know you're like in 2 weeks it'll mean nothing. I hope that it becomes something. I also currently, or I should say, up until the attack, didn't give a shit about Bronson Reed. He's a big dude. Cool. He's not as athletic as like Brody King or Ivar or like someone else or like Keith Lee, right?
Right.
But yes, he's a big dude. Triple H seems to love him. I don't know why. He was given a little bit of a personality briefly. He was kind of doing this sort of mercenary thing a little bit that didn't go anywhere. And
With
then he
the
was off TV
Miz
again.
and
Yeah.
Tommaso Ciampa, and
Yeah. But
it's early.
yeah, I don't want to not like wrestlers. So I want to like Bronson Reed. I just don't yet.
Oh, no, I don't. And I don't have to because he's playing a part.
Mm,
And in this show,
mhm.
fuck him. Okay? Because unless that's his real name, which it's not, then yeah, I can separate because I don't hate freaking Amelia Clark because Daenerys Targaryen is a lunatic in Game
Mm,
of Thrones.
mhm.
I don't, you could separate because believe it or not, it's a TV show. Okay. People get too up in their feelings about that. And I'm not doing that anymore. I'm tired of that shit because I'm just commenting on what I see. And if I don't like it, I'm going to say it now. I'm tired of
I,
that shit.
I like his real name better.
What is it? What is his government name?
Jermaine Haley.
See, probably a great guy, a good dad, a good new dad, a great husband. I don't know that. But fuck Bronson Reed. Okay, he doesn't know shit about Jermaine. All right, he doesn't know shit about him.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So, unless there was anything you wanted about CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, and Seth Rollins' little love triangle,
No,
or hate triangle, or hate square, now that
I,
Bronson Reed's involved. So,
I liked it all. We got Seth off TV. Bronson Reed's a credible threat. Seth's going to come back. They're probably going to bash each other in Berlin or something.
I hope Seth comes back with men's clothes. Maybe he'll be the Seth Rollins clothing variant where he wears men's clothes.
Maybe.
But who knows? And that's not for me to say. But for what is to say, yet another Puerto Rican champion has lost their championship at SummerSlam. There's a theme here. I lost mine in the match before. It's a murderer's row of stripped champions who've lost. Except in my case, except in this case. Now, were you to watch the match, you would see that Finn Balor came down, and also that Damien Priest dropped Gunter. Gunter's on the ground,
Mm-hmm.
and Priest proceeds to roll him towards the ropes,
Yep.
as if saying, it's like a collaboration between him and Finn. It's like the opposite of what a faction's supposed to do with you. It's like, here, I want you to break this pin. Just gonna put that there because I need to be a victim here and blame you for my failure,
Mm-hmm.
which you have no one to blame but yourself. Just like me, except because it's CM Punk and he was the avatar. Okay, you physically were so mad. I get it. We got that thing in us. We got that thing that we just can't. And you just couldn't.
Got that
You just
fire.
couldn't. Just like Drew McIntyre, just like Roman Reigns, you just couldn't deal with the asshole on the outside. You just couldn't
Mm-hmm.
deal with them. They just drove you. You wanted Finn Balor. You
Mm-hmm.
wanted to go after him. But Payback's a bitch because he could have been champion. You cost him that.
Mm-hmm.
He remembers that. That was going to come up, and you treating them like assholes wasn't going to help you neither.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Exactly. So maybe on Impact, Gunter was supposed to roll. Maybe he hesitated slightly longer than he needed to, or maybe Priest was faster than he expected. And Gunter was supposed to roll, and Priest was supposed to just say, "Okay, you want to roll? I'm going to roll you, and then pin you." Right?
I
Either way,
think,
it happened
yeah.
the way it happened, but really the turning point. Smart on Priest to watch the replay. Right? People like that is not done right, and they replayed that instantly. They never replay it that quick, so we knew that was coming into play.
What are you talking about? They have instant replay. You're
Right, but
supposed
not
to do that.
right.
Yeah, it's instant.
Smart on Priest to watch it, but it's that Latino heat, right? The fire you saw your buddy do you wrong right then and there. Do you
Yeah,
handle business
I saw him do me wrong right then and there. I saw it.
or do you handle your boy? He
You,
went to handle his boy. I'm glad that they didn't try to say that they didn't try to call that a rookie error or inexperience. Granted, they didn't blame it on Latino fire or heat or anything like that. They just said he's angry.
I
He's
disagree with this. This was unintelligent. Like, you could have just kept on pushing. The worst case, you get disqualified
mhm.
because Finn Balor is trying to stop you winning.
Yeah, you
And
do it
guess
off
what? You're
the
still the champion.
yeah, you have Priest beat off the initial distraction. Don't
Yeah.
have Priest go after Finn a second time. The
Yeah.
second time was extra. The second time looked a lot cooler, coming through the ropes at him. That looked damn cool. Good image.
But he's did he did you don't I don't I feel like you don't care enough about the championship if you're willing to do that.
Right.
I know it's heat of the moment, but like you're looking like a transition champion to me right
Yeah.
now. So
Yeah. It's an eye on the prize moment.
yeah. Well, you can't win them all. He's now a super face. He had a match with JD McDonald's.
Mm.
That went to a DQ finish.
That
Um,
was so. First of all, that was a banger. But even before the match, and I've always liked JD McDonough, formerly known as Jordan Devlin. Thought his in ring work was great. The character work he was doing down in NXT was good when he was doing like the psycho stuff where he'd like calculate and he would show when he's like focusing on a body part and why and like
and then it was
showing
all for
people like the
nothing
creepy thing. Right, because they
because it
never
didn't mean
capitalized
anything
on
because
that.
Braun Breaker fucked his shit up regardless of that.
Right, they brought him to the main roster to be the crash test dummy for the Judgment Day. Okay,
And that affects like later though, because it's like he's a friend of Finn Balor's and he was treating him badly.
right. But then we had that pre-taped promo, which was I mean, not eye-opening for me, but I think eye-opening for people that didn't know Jamie McDonough from before. But like that was a good promo. That was a very strong promo from someone that really in WWE hadn't given a strong promo before.
No one's saying he can't talk. I
Hmm.
think that'd be disrespectful to say
Hmm.
that because obviously he can talk.
Hmm.
And he's a decent wrestler. It's just that his head is very big, and he's a victim of biology.
Like
It might be even bigger after Rhea Ripley headbutted him in the face.
he may have come to this world directly from Roblox or Minecraft. I don't know. Who are we to say? Like I'm not. I don't need to check his birth certificate. But what I am saying is the promo was fire. Priest's rebuttal also on point. That match was kick ass. That match was exactly what it needed to be. JD McDonough showed his toughness. Priest showed his dominance. It showed off both guys, and that was a great match.
They're fighting for real.
Hmm.
Probably will get a mixed tag team match in Berlin. Liv Morgan, Dumbass Mysterio versus the Terror Twins.
Hmm.
They'll probably win that one,
Yeah.
and I don't know where it goes from there.
Yeah.
Um,
Terror Twins win because otherwise, like, there are no actual stakes. If there
you,
were actual stakes like a title, then Dom and Liv would win.
you can't like you can't terrorize somebody into being your boyfriend and not have that come back to bite you in the ass. And Priest was in on that.
Hmm.
Okay. Like, I don't understand. Like, this Judgment Day thing makes sense to me that they broke up is because they're bad people. Like, Damien Priest and Rhea Ripley and eventually Finn Balor and Edge made life miserable for those people.
Yep.
Finn Balor when him and AJ and they tried to get them to join or something or
Hmm.
whatever, and they didn't want to, and then eventually they did, maybe out of not wanting to deal with that shit anymore.
Hmm.
This like could have been on track. Like you can't do things to people and it not come back. So I think that's a really cool thing that they did.
Yeah. The if you can't beat them, join them. When done literally is
Yeah.
weak.
Yeah, but the fact that it came back to destroy them
Yeah.
and it's now another it's I look, there's midline and then there's Judgment Day 2. I don't think they're mid yet because it's been a week.
Mm.
You know what I mean? They're not. And I guess Carlito officially in there with them, or is he just because he wasn't in a Judgment Day officially, but
Right.
they get along.
Hmm.
So
He
I
was
think
Judgment
he's
Day adjacent. I think he's in now. He's in the Judgment Day, which now has not a single original member.
sometimes things change, and that's what's going to happen.
Hmm.
So it's interesting that both groups broke up around the same time. Uh, f- you know, Judgment Day after, but not that much after.
Mhm.
Before we move on, so now Damage Control is feuding with Raw Top Team.
Yep.
Dakota Kai's been written off television.
Mhm.
Hopefully they replace her with someone more Damage Control-y. So maybe we'll get Asuka back
Yeah.
and like somebody else probably.
Let me
So
see if
we'll see
let
what
me check
happens.
real quick to see if Asuka is injured.
She's been injured, but I don't know if she's better now. That's why she's not on TV.
Mm.
She was like in Japan for a little while with their promotional stuff.
Oh. But yeah, it's, 2 days. It was around the Queen of the Ring tournament.
Yeah,
Doesn't say what it was. Okay.
it's a leg thing.
Mm.
Okay, so let's go and to the main event of the SummerSlam. It was a Bloodline rules match. Apparently, Cody's not as stupid as I think he is.
Mhm.
Although he still could be stupid because I guess this gives him a chance to defend. You have a better chance of defending yourself in a Bloodlines rules match than you would a regular match.
Mhm. Because
Um,
you can just have backup and have them just come in and take them out without worrying about the referee turning his back. Oh, what are you doing? And then you get hit with a chair from behind.
right, and the backup came in the form of Kevin Owens and Randy Orton,
Right.
who Randy Orton now has a title match against Gunter because, hey man, my shoulder, let's go. And Gunter's like, okay.
Mhm.
Um, and I feel like there's a trend here with overseas pay-per-views. The title matches are just there's no shot of it changing hands. The example I have is AJ Styles versus Cody. That was the France one,
Mhm.
Backlash France. Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
And just like that, Gunter is going to beat the shit out of Randy. That's it. And when we finish talking about this match, we got to talk about what happened Friday because we have another number one contender where, again, it's not happening.
Yeah.
So Cody wins. This is, of course, even after Jacob Fatu tabled him and
Mhm.
injured himself, maybe because there's a lot of people saying he didn't, but he was seen in a boot.
Mm.
And like, they're selling and then they're selling. So I don't know because there have been dudes back in the day who just don't wear a cast out in the public,
Mhm.
trying to sell the thing. So it could be that, could be lying low. Um, so we got Tamatonga, okay, and Jabroni Tonga, okay. They didn't get things done.
Camacho Loa.
That's the name of the guy with the eye patch.
Yeah, Tongaloa, formerly
Okay,
known as Camacho.
we all know their names,
Yes.
but I was making fun of him because he sucks. He can't even hold up a title right.
I think he was holding it that way because he's like, well, this isn't mine, but I'm here literally physically holding it.
Why do you have to run defense on idiots?
I don't listen.
What is
I
that?
see both. I see both sides of it. I see both sides of it. He looked like a dummy, but maybe there's a reason for it.
What?
I've done stupid
Okay.
shit that there's a reason for.
Okay. Like you could at least be like, oh, his vision because he's got like he's blind in one eye or something. But no, like no, he did it because it's not really his, but he's holding it. I want you to say that next time in the mirror.
Unlike this, which is mine, that I am
That's
holding.
fine. That's fine with me. It's good to give people what they want and then take it away from them and make them
Hmm.
feel bad about it later.
Hmm.
I'm not saying that's something I'm going to do. But back to what's going on here is the championship match that was. And Solo Sikoa was looking to beat Cody.
Hmm.
But then new music came. We don't know what the original plan was. I'm pretty sure Jacob was not supposed to get hurt.
Right.
So we don't know if Roman was maybe supposed to come out later, but here he come. Here he come. He come. We were all surprised, not really, because we had a feeling he would be there, but that doesn't make it any less good. He
Right.
come, he go in, he Superman punch after that thing, and then he do I probably the loudest like
Ooh,
reaction to the
ah.
spear, even when it was the big dog. Like I
Mhm.
don't think it's ever been that much of a reaction to him.
I think the closest as a face is when he speared Stephanie.
Yeah, but even then it was like we hate her. It's not that we love him.
Yeah, we hate her more than we hate him.
So yeah, and this was everybody was losing their shit.
Hmm.
Like I was excited, and then Friday, it wasn't manufactured. That shit was real. Everybody was like, and he just tore through the midline.
Hmm.
Um, Unfortunately, we didn't get to hear him say anything, but that's fine because that's what next week's for.
Yep.
Apparently, the wise man was backstage at SummerSlam,
Mm,
so he's fine, I guess.
good.
So maybe he'll come back on Friday. Um, so Solo still has the Ulafala,
Hmm.
because he's a coward and a bitch,
Hmm.
and he ran away. And he's all like, "You want this? You come and get it." And it's like, dude, why do you should have just you could have
Stayed in the
just
ring.
yeah.
Like,
What
you
are you
were in the
doing?
ring. You said, "Come and get it." He came to get it. You left the ring. Now
Yeah,
you're like,
what
"Come and get it."
you just look so no aura, like
Mm.
nothing. You suck. Okay,
Nega
Solo.
aura.
Solo was good when he didn't talk.
Hmm.
He'd be like this and the thing and that. And now is just, bro, you're that mob enforcer. That sucks.
Hmm.
Like nobody trusts you with anything. They don't even give you the paper bag to do the drop off. None of that shit. None of that. You can't even walk the Don's dog. Like they don't trust you for that. You're the door guy now.
Hmm.
That's what you should be at the door.
Yeah, he's
And
the
I mean
gatekeeper.
that. I mean that as a character.
Hmm.
Like as a character, you've yet to show. Okay. And now I have to say that because people get all up in their feelings and they don't understand that you can separate it. It's not fucking personal. That's
Yeah.
not who he really is.
Hmm.
Damn it.
Yeah. Solo Sokoa, the character, when he ultimately, there you go, when he ultimately loses to Roman Reigns, should be named Bloodlines Doorman.
That's exactly where he's gonna go. I have a feeling next Friday's not looking good for the tribal chief. If they want to balance things out, something's gonna happen. Um, maybe there'll be a new guy. The numbers game.
Mm,
He's got to have his back against the wall. They couldn't have it like his first time back on SmackDown, get his ass beat.
right.
Like he messed them up. He came in there, he used stairs like an
Hmm.
intelligent person.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, that eye patch guy, he sucks. Like, wow, he suck. He sucked bad,
Hmm.
honestly. But as a character, I don't know. Sometimes people have trouble low blowing people. That's hard.
Don't.
It's hard. Um, so yeah, Cody, he wanted to talk about, SummerSlam. He didn't want to talk about SummerSlam, and that's when Solo came out. I was like, what about SummerSlam though? And Cody's like, nah, fam, you were the back of the line. You lost. Get the
Hmm.
fuck out of here. And KO was in there. He helped him. He protected him.
Hmm.
He had that chair for a second there. I thought he was gonna hit him in the back with it. And like we're gonna have KO versus Cody that way. But somehow we're getting Cody versus KO the other way.
Hmm.
He's like, listen, I want to give you the opportunity. You get a title match. I want to wrestle you. He's like, listen, man, there's people that are more deserving than me. The whole time he's in the ring, he's like, listen, there's other guys. Like, I haven't, if you looked at my win loss record, it's not great. And then later they're backstage. It's the same thing. But then, like, Nick Aldis is like, listen, guys, look, I'm glad you're
Hmm.
here because, well, since Kevin Owens, I was actually here about a title for title match for Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin Owens lost it. He's
Mhm.
like, do you want to find people more deserving than Roman Reigns? Just go to the locker room and open the door.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically Kevin Owens is like, well, I guess I'm wrestling.
Yeah.
I guess I'll see you. I guess I'll see you in Berlin. I'm like, yeah, the tribal chief's not going to Germany. Okay,
Mm.
that's a lot of travel. All
Well,
right. I mean, I could
he
be
might. We
wrong.
don't know.
I
Mhm.
don't know. I just doubt I just doubt it. I just doubt it. Like he's always been a big show guy. You know, he
Yeah.
doesn't go to the. You know.
He may or may not. Either way, he definitely has to take care of the midline first. So I
Well,
think he's not getting his title back until after Survivor Series.
look, he's not getting his title back until like WrestleMania, maybe. I think.
Right.
I think he doesn't even need it. Like did you fucking hear those people? He's
The roof came
bigger.
off.
He's bigger than Cody.
Mm-hmm.
He's bigger than the championship itself.
Mm-hmm.
If the championship and Cody fused together, Roman would still be more popular.
Yep.
So that's just is what it is. I'm sorry. Bobby Lashley, I think he's done. There's no mention of Bobby Lashley. Now it's Street Profits and what's that young lady's name? That used to
B-Fab.
be Hit Row. Yeah, B Fab. All right.
Bobby
You
who?
know, I don't know. I don't know. Bobby who? What was it? Ashanti Diadonis? Is he in NXT now?
Yeah, him and Cedric.
They need to figure their shit out, man. So I think MVP's also done. Maybe. He had
Probably.
some interesting things to say. But that's
Where's
neither here nor
Omos?
there. Omos
Like
is around.
I don't miss Omos, but where is he?
He's got fragrances that he likes to talk about on his TikTok or something. I think he talks about fragrances.
Cool.
So yeah, look, I found something before we close. There's a little video. It's from the Olympics. AEW has made it to the Olympics. Now, I don't know how true this is, but did you know breakdancing is an Olympic event?
I saw that, and apparently there's this
Stop
this
and collaborate and listen. All right, I'm doing a thing
yes.
to do this, and you can't help yourself.
Okay.
You're champion for a day or a week or whatever, and you want to just throw your weight around. So here's this clip here from the Olympics. I mean, AEW's mainstream. You know, that has to be like the worst breakdancing I've ever seen in my life. And I've watched a lot of 80s movies and even maybe not 80s movie where they had breakdancing, and that was horrendous.
That was not
No
breakdancing.
disrespect, but hey, you made it. You turned something into something, and you somehow managed to con a bunch of people into making this an event. So,
And convinced someone that was a good breakdancing routine, good enough to represent your country on the world stage of the Olympics.
why can't pro wrestling be an Olympic sport if that can be? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you could have judges like judging on the crispiness of the move, on the storytelling in the ring, and numbers and shit. Like it does, and even like, oh, was this the right decision? Like, should that one have won instead of that one? You know,
Representing the U.S., I would want Gunter Versilia.
you could have that. You could have, but the thing is, it has to be. You're gonna have. WWE gets a match. AEW gets a match. New Japan gets a match. They have other things over there. They get a match.
Meltzer can't be a judge.
No one would ever ask. He's not like a serious person. He managed. If his room is filthy, he has garbage everywhere. Like that's not a. This is a person who is honestly, as someone who is, I could say he's mentally ill. And honestly, it's fine because that makes us good podcasters, I think. But I don't know about this guy. I can't say he is or isn't, but I feel like there's something there. There's something there and something weird because he just loves to give 18 stars to basic ass matches. And like WWE could like do like the perfect match and it'll be
Hmm.
like a 2.
Yeah.
He's super biased. Like, I don't know what's up with that guy.
If
At
he's
least
not,
here we have a preference.
yeah. If Meltzer is not on their payroll, good for AEW saving that money because it's
I
and
think
New Japan.
I think he takes credit. Like, I think he thinks it's because of him. Like they're as big as they are, and he just like a like a Chris Jericho to a younger talent, just
Mm,
attached himself to the ship.
yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
so so I don't know. You had anything from the week that you felt that you wanted to talk about before we leave?
Just in case anyone didn't see our post this week, rest in peace, Kevin Sullivan, Taskmaster himself. You posted? Do you recall? Did they say the cause of his passing?
No, I'm assuming he's old
Hmm.
and 74. You know what I mean? Not everybody sells their soul to the devil to be 100 years old and somehow lead the free world. Like some people, they stop at 74.
Hmm.
Some people stop lower. Like today I found out, rest in peace, former CEO or whatever of YouTube. I don't, I think, I forgot her name, but she died. She was like 50
Oh.
something of
Hmm.
cancer,
Oh, that's terrible.
So, Susan Wojcicki, I think. So,
Hmm.
rest in peace. But people, you can go anytime. You
Hmm.
could be, a young person and suddenly. So,
Yeah. According to his Wikipedia page, he was involved in a quote devastating accident this past May. Underwent surgery, had a bunch of complications. The accident ultimately affected his ability to function independently, and then he ended up passing from complications from a blood clot.
it was up until that point he was still booking AEW,
Mm,
and he did his best, but there's really nothing. No, I don't know. I don't know. But he was the booker. He was a real booker. So, Basement Bookers podcast, rest in peace. Hopefully, you kick the shit out of your arch nemesis when you meet each other again. I don't know where the venue would be. Obviously, he can't get into heaven. Your opponent. Maybe you can get like a purgatory pass.
mm.
You guys could meet each other in the middle
Faces in heaven, heels in hell. Purgatory is the arena,
because it's impartial.
right?
So yeah, and yeah, that's it. So you know,
Pillman's in his face right now, just perpetually.
Pillman's
Just,
the referee.
oh, okay.
Say Booker man,
Yeah. All righty.
Booker
Well,
man.
Booker Man. Pillman's wrestling a pencil. All right. All the socials are in the Patreon link, which is down below. Like, comment, do the whole thing. Let us know what you thought of SummerSlam, Raw this week, SmackDown this week. What do you think is going to happen going forward with Judgment Day, with Midline and Bloodline? Will Roman get the OG Bloodline minus Solo back together? Let us know your thoughts
Do you
down
like
below.
it raw and real? Do you like it raw and real, or do you want softballs and happy go lucky? We just love everything. What do you like? Do you like honest opinions, or do you want like somebody to just toe the line, baby? Let us know. Sound off. We keeping it real. For the champion and myself, the match of life is scheduled for one fall. Make it count.
Do what the man says.
Follow the Bookers, patreon.com/basement Bookers pod. We're out of here. That's the end.